Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. We're gonna do a Q&A so you guys can get to know us better.
First question, how did we meet?
First time I met you was like I was in 7th grade. Baseball and softball game, and you came over to pitch for us. Say want a girl, pitch to the girls.
Yeah.
And then
Second time we met, was it okay?
Yeah. I thought you were your brother's girlfriend from behind.
So. Oh no, I was on the way to church with my mom.
Is that where you guys were going? You guys had a lot of snacks to be going to church.
We never ate breakfast, so we took she would stop and get us Polar Pops and chips before church. That was our you better sit your butt down in church.
We had a lot of money that day, so we decided we were able to get 3 Polar Pops without having to get change. I saw you. I remember that day the glass was all broken out because someone threw rocks and stuff through the windows. You remember that? The windows were all boarded up.
I don't remember that.
It was busy.
It was busy. I remember what I was wearing. I was wearing
that
the
flower blue dress.
The bows in back. I thought you were in pajama pants. I knew you were wearing something that you said that was dirty. Remember? You're like, they weren't even clean.
I hadn't showered for a couple of days. I'm not even gonna lie.
How long have you been together? We will be together for 5 years in February. So as of current, 4 years.
Yeah.
Where do we work?
Yeah, but where do we work?
Oh, screw off.
I work at Albertsons, a warehouse, and I work in the perishable part, so I work in the refrigerator unit.
Nowhere. I don't currently work right now. I'm currently a stay-at-home mom. Question number 4.
Was Marshall planned? Yeah.
It took half a year to even have Marshall. But yes, Marshall was a planned child. We wanted kids, and we decided to. The sooner the better. In no way am I promoting to get pregnant young. It's hard being young parents, but we did want kids young due to the fact of we want to be able to grow with them. We don't want to be old and, you know, they're in sports and stuff and they need help and we're pretty much hurting all the time. We want to be able to enjoy the factor of them growing up, be able to roughhouse on their level, not be like, oh, I can't do it because I'm in pain. So we wanted more of the factor. We wanted to grow with them instead of just see them grow up.
And when they're gone out of the house and they're on their own, we're still
pretty young. We'll be in our 40s.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah.
Barely be in our 40s.
So at that time, even if he doesn't have at that time, even if he has a rough job, it wouldn't be that hard on our bodies aging. We can go out and do things, not struggle to do things. We can have the money to do things pretty young, especially because I assume even if we don't wait till they're 18.
Yeah.
I mean, we're financially getting there as it is.
Question 5, do we want more kids? Yeah.
After 2 kids, we're done.
Yeah. Question 6 was, why only 2 kids?
Originally, I wanted more than 2 kids. I wanted like 4. But as of right now, we're only going to have 2 and that's it. I can't only have 2 kids after this child. I'm done. I ended up having a hernia and that affected a lot of my body when I went back to work. I went back way too soon. And most warehouse people know, in a warehouse job, no matter where you're at, it's pretty difficult with weight and movement, and the hernia just continue to get worse and get bigger. And after Marshall, we did confirm that I'm going to have surgery for the hernia, and that after that, I'm not going to be able to have any more kids. If you look it up statistically, yeah, you can have kids, but what are the risks of, there's more risks than there are good, yeah. And I don't want to put my body through that and have something happen because, Marshall does need me. So since we found out we can't have any more kids after that, we decided to hold off on the surgery.
Have a baby.
Yeah. And end up having our second child. So I'm currently pregnant. Again.
For like the second year in a row.
Yeah, so Marshall was born in November of last year, so this one we hopefully, if all goes well, if no complications or anything, will be born November of this year. So then we'll all be November babies.
Mm-hmm.
So we are pregnant with child number 2. And
going out with a bang.
So it'll be nice because I'll always cherish Marshall because he is our first kid, and then we'll always cherish this baby as well because they'll always be our last. So yeah, we're pregnant. We're far along in the pregnancy, but we didn't want to announce anything, so till for sure we knew that there was going to be no complications, and so far everything's been well.
Yeah.
So baby number 2 will be coming out this year. Don't know the gender yet.
To a hospital near you.
Question 9. What do we do on our free time?
I play Madden a lot. I listen to Spotify a lot.
On my free time, I like to journal. I haven't been up to date with it, but I mean, I like to try. I like to try to journal.
You like organizing on your free time?
There's that, and I like organizing. I would say on my free time, I like to take pictures because I do try to take a lot of pictures of Marshall. And obviously, I try to edit these videos. I mean, that's a new one I picked up on, so it takes some getting used to. But so far,
we play a lot of board games on our free time.
And that's like during meals or while he's cooking or
just cause.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? We'd watch Hulu. We watch tons of shows together. I think that's one thing I like is we can watch shows together and enjoy it instead of like we're watching it and we're 2 separate mindsets.
You have your show, I have my show.
Yeah. So we watch shows together as well. And occasionally we go to the park or, but...
I question your commitment to Bob's Burgers.
Question 10. Where are we from? I'm originally from Los Angeles, California.
I'm originally from Salt Lake City, Utah.
And we now live in Arizona. Together.
Yeah. I've lived here since like 2002, 2001.
And mine was 2006. So
pretty much our whole lives we've been in Arizona.
Yeah.
That's how we started. That's where we ended. Question 11. How did becoming a parent change you? I think my humor's gotten a lot better.
I think it got more... I don't want to say it cleaned up because I never really did anything bad, but I
think it gave you a new sense of purpose.
Yeah. I got my life together. Now I take care of myself more. Not like I didn't, but it was one of those, I slipped into being sad all the time and kind of being to myself and being kind of inside the box, inside my shell, and now I'm coming out of my shell a little bit more, as well as, I get ready, do my hair more. I didn't really care because it's not that I was pregnant why I didn't care. I didn't care because where I worked, there was no purpose in getting ready. I was getting treated like crap every day at work. And that didn't help on top of having a kid and just having to go back to that. My self-confidence wasn't there at all. So it changed me for the sense of I'm taking care of myself as well as Marshall like 10 times better now. And I'm making sure our priorities are straight, as well as I think I have a lot more patience. I mean, I've dealt with having to take care of a kid before, but I never really, I have a lot more patience for like tantrums. I don't like tantrums, but I have a lot more patience for it.
I have a lot more patience in general now, but I think the biggest thing that's changed is I've become a lot softer. I've become a lot softer, and my perception on what I need to do, how I need to act is kind of changed. Like now I just kind of, I go day by day. I don't really plan for nothing now. I don't really, get ready like I used to, just because. Now I'm kind of more in the moment. I relax a lot more. I've been a lot more emotional now that he's here. But that could be your pregnancy too.
Yeah, I think together we changed because we're a lot more put together.
We
don't fight.
We don't mash heads nearly as much. We used to butt heads a lot, but now
we don't fight. I feel like with you helping me get to my happy place now, I'm able to stay there and be happy more than I am asleep. Like, he had to wait hand and foot on me pretty much for a couple more like half a year. I just slipped, and it was one of those, I didn't want to get out of bed, I didn't want to eat, I didn't want to drink. I just would go to work, come home. Like, I don't remember certain parts of life. And
even when you were pregnant at Marshall,
yeah, that's what I'm saying, half a year.
I thought you were talking about after.
And it's like on the pains with Marshall being in my stomach, and then, you know, having to go back to work was hard. But now that I'm home, I feel like we're both happier.
Yeah, definitely. That was my big goal, is I wanted to be able to do a job where I wasn't so miserable, but where you didn't have to work. I didn't have to worry about my income and your income, scheduling, transportation, Marshall, babysitting. It's now pretty much, we just gotta know what my schedule is. I just gotta make sure I work.
It'd be a lot more, I feel like if I was working, I don't mind working, but I feel like if I was working, I'd feel like it'd be 10 times stressful here, because it'd be like, who's taking care of who, and, you know, who's gonna cook, well, who's gonna take care of Marshall, who's gonna do this, who's gonna take him to the babysitter, who gets the car first. It's gonna be it would have been a lot more of butting heads. So our best choice right now, because of a great job opportunity that he actually has right now, was to just have me stay home and me budget everything down to the dollar and make sure I'm in charge of the money, make sure I'm putting stuff away, money wise. It just worked out a lot better. So I think overall, Marshall made us more kind of mature too.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
You get a lot more responsibilities. He made me sleep less. Like I said, we kind of slept all the time.
Yeah. We were always on opposite schedules. Even when Marshall wasn't here. Just because.
Yeah, and then it was one of those, like I said, it's just easier, because even when we were on opposite schedules and we didn't have Marshall, we were butting heads. Now that we're kind of on the same schedule, we have a flow, we communicate, we know what's going on, everything's fine. No question, what was it like being a parent at first compared to now?
For me, it was very, I don't want to say scary at first. It was more, it felt so fragile, the whole situation, and of course he was, but I mean, just the whole opportunity felt so fragile, and I didn't want to do anything wrong, but it was a lot of changes to get used to, especially with the whole sleep thing, because I'm a very stubborn sleeper. I don't need a lot of sleep, but I need consistent sleep, and for me it was definitely a very scary time compared to now. It's a lot more enjoyable.
I agree.
But it's also a lot more easier now. Not so much because he's getting easier, but it's now I know how to be more patient. I know how to change diapers a lot better and a lot more efficient now. I know as a parent now what I need to do on my end, even the things like working, juggling a work-life home better compared to then, because then I only had to worry about me and you know, and the dog. But
yeah.
Now I have him in the mix, and he's so ambitious and curious and adventurous right now, and it's a lot to know he is looking up to us and he's mimicking us a lot, especially more now than he was then. But it's scary to know what I can do now can impact him later, but it's gotten easier with time, to relax and enjoy the moments as they go?
I think on my end, I was paranoid at first, like paranoid through the roof.
Yeah.
Because I would go, on social media and go on Google, and you see all these things of, how your baby can be harmed this way and that way, and it's so everything, every little thing, I was like, oh, don't do that, oh, don't do that, oh, and it's something I've gotten used to, which I mean, it's not like, oh yeah, let him do this. It's one of those, you just gotta be careful on what he's doing now. I was more tired in the beginning as I am now, and he's not on any sort of schedule yet. I mean, we're trying to put him on a schedule. That only goes so far. I'm not gonna force him to go on a schedule yet, but I was more tired because I was breastfeeding at the time, which right now I'm not, due to the factors of me having to go back to work for that short period of time in a warehouse. Just, I'd be giving my baby like gross, pretty much black milk, with how dirty it was. So I was more tired because I had to take over the role of, while he was working, I had to take over the role of watching Marshall, getting him up every 2 to 3 hours, breastfeeding him, changing his diaper, and then he would get home. And obviously he'd help when he was home, but a lot of it was consistent every 2 to 3 hours. Now, he eats often, but he eats regular food, so it's a lot easier than sitting there waiting and not trying to fall asleep while he's eating.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's now that he's more active, it's a lot easier, surprisingly, now that he's more active. You just follow him, he has like regular food. The only thing that sucks is poops stink more, but I mean, overall I think we adjusted pretty well. I mean, now I'm fine with getting 3-4 hours of sleep here and there, and I'm not dragging it.
Yeah.
I feel like as a person, he's definitely changed us a lot.
Yeah.
And all in good ways, not any bad ways. Well, you have white hairs now, but I mean, other than that.
I know.
Other than that, I mean, it's all been good.
I think he's brought down the edge in everything. He's brought down the steam level and the stress level. Well, all the work things, getting us worked up, and just being an adult for the first time.
We're able to function now. I mean, everything kind of got hectic there for a while, because it felt like we were never home. We were always this person's house. We were always, out getting groceries. We were always out doing this. So I felt like, too, that's not why I didn't heal well, but I feel like that's a reason. We were always on the go. We were never really home.
Yeah.
And so now that we're home, our house is settled, our house is put together, our house is everywhere we want it to be, or our apartment, I should say, is everything we want it to be right now. It's taken the load off quite a bit.
Yeah.
So we don't have any more questions. That's all the questions that we have. Marshall wasn't able to be in the video as long as I would have liked. He ended up falling asleep, but now he's awake, so
just in time.
But that's all the questions we have. We'll update you on, our new chapter in life that we're starting.
So if you like what you saw, like and subscribe. And until then, we'll see you guys later.
Say bye.
Bye.